You are standing in a prison yard in Pelican Bay, California. It is 6:47 in the morning. The fog hasn't lifted yet. The yard smells like concrete and cold air. Somewhere behind you, a door slams. The sound echoes off walls 30 feet high. A man is walking toward you. He has a shamrock tattooed on his left forearm, a number on his neck. His eyes don't move when he walks. They stay completely still, fixed on you, like a man who has spent years in a place where looking away gets you hurt. He stops 2 feet in front of you. He doesn't introduce himself. He says, "You've got one decision to make today. Everything else gets decided for you after that." You were 23 years old. You came in for a 3-year drug charge. You had no idea this place worked like this. You have no idea what you're about to become. Here's what happened. Level 1, the fish. Level 1, the new arrival. Income, 0. You own nothing. You are worth nothing yet. Risk. The first 72 hours in Pelican Bay determine the next 3 years of your life, or end them early. They call fresh inmates fish. You walk into the general population yard on day 1 and understand immediately that everything you thought you knew is wrong. There is no chaos here, no random violence, no shouting. The yard is quieter than you expected, and that quiet is more frightening than any noise. Because underneath it, everything is organized, controlled, divided. Black inmates on the east side, Latino inmates near the weight pile, white inmates at the far wall. No signs, no announcements. Everyone just knows. You walk toward the far wall. A man with a shaved head clocks you the second you enter. 1 look, 2 seconds, then he looks away. That look told him your age, your build, whether you've been inside before, whether you're scared. You are scared. He saw it. That night, a folded note slides under your cell door. 3 words, breakfast, with us. You don't know who wrote it. You don't know what it means yet, but you understand that in here, an invitation is also a warning. You show up at breakfast. You sit where they tell you. You just started a process you don't fully understand yet, and you cannot stop it now. Level 2, the prospect. Level 2, prospect. Duration, 6 months to 2 years. Depends entirely on you. Income, still 0. You work for free. Risk, you are being evaluated every single day. 1 sign of weakness, 1 wrong conversation, 1 moment of hesitation, and you lose the only protection you have in here. A man named Garrett runs your section. He sits across from you in the yard on day 3 and explains 3 rules. You do not talk to guards, not beyond what's required, not about anything real, ever. You stay with your own, eat with them, exercise with them, associate with them only. This is not a suggestion. You do what you're told. No questions, no delays. The right to ask questions is earned later, if you earn it at all. Your job as a prospect is to run the machine from the bottom. You carry messages between cells. Small, folded notes pass through 3 or 4 hands before they reach you. You memorize the contents. You deliver them verbally. You never write anything down. You move contraband from one section to another. Tobacco mostly. Sometimes medication. Sometimes things you identify by weight and shape and deliberately don't think about further. You also watch the guards. Every day you track which officers run which corridors at which times, which ones linger, which ones look away, which ones are worth knowing, and which ones are problems. Every evening, you report this to Garrett in the yard. 30 seconds, verbal only, nothing written. 8 weeks in, Garrett tells you to handle something in C block. A member of a rival gang crossed a line. You don't ask what line. You go to C block the next morning during yard time. It takes 45 seconds. You take a disciplinary report. 30 days in solitary. You sit in a 6x9 cell for 30 days and say nothing to anyone about who gave the order. When you come out, Garrett is in the yard. He nods once. 1 nod. That's all. But in here, that nod is everything. Level 3, the soldier. Level 3, full patch member. Income, $500 to $1,000 a month in prison economy. Commissary, tobacco, favors that convert to cash on the outside. Risk, you are now in every federal gang database in the country. Your classification changes today, and it never changes back. There is no ceremony. One morning, Garrett tells you the vote came back. You're in. 3 days later, you get your first tattoo, done with a sharpened guitar string and ink made from melted plastic, a shamrock, left forearm, small and specific. Every AB member on the West Coast has one. The exact position on the arm tells other members which facility, which yard, which crew you belong to. It is also a permanent target on your body that law enforcement will photograph every time they process you for the rest of your life. You look at it that night in your cell and understand that something has closed behind you. Your job as a soldier is simple: protect and enforce. Anyone touches your people, you respond. You don't wait for permission. You handle it and report up afterward. Speed matters more than approval at this level. You also run collections. A dealer in D Block owes $800 in commissary to a senior member. You go with one other soldier. You don't raise your voice. You give him a deadline. You leave. Most deadlines are met. When they're not, you go back, and the conversation is different the second time. You're also moving product now. Methamphetamine flows through Pelican Bay in ways the administration cannot fully stop. It comes in through visitation, through mail, through channels you learn and don't discuss. Your cut is small, but it arrives every week without fail, and that consistency means something in here. One afternoon, a corrections officer pulls you aside. He wants names, upcoming moves. He offers protective classification, transfer to a softer facility. You look at him. You tell him you don't know what he's talking about. That night, you report every word of the conversation to Garrett. He listens without expression. He tells you this officer has approached 3 members in the past 18 months. He says the officer's name has been noted. You already know what noted means. You sleep fine that night. That fact stays with you. Level 4, the shot caller. Level 4, shot caller. You run a yard. 40 men report through you. Income, $3,000 to $5,000 a month in prison economy, plus a percentage of outside operations connected to your section. Risk. You are now a named target in an active FBI gang task force investigation. They have photographs of you. They have your phone records from before you came in. They are building something. You've been inside for 4 years. You don't do things anymore. You decide things. A dispute between 2 of your soldiers over a debt split reaches you on a Tuesday. You hear both sides separately. You make a call. That call stands. No appeals, no second opinions. The ability to make a decision that 40 people accept without question. That is the job now. A new fish arrives. White. No affiliation. He comes to the far wall on his first day like they all do. You watch him the way Garrett watched you 4 years ago. You're looking for the same things: nerve, intelligence, whether his eyes stay still when he talks or move around too much. His eyes move too much. You have someone watch him for 2 weeks before anything is offered. You also manage money in ways that have nothing to do with commissary. The AB operates outside these walls through affiliate networks, independent crews in California, Nevada, and Arizona that pay a percentage to use the AB name and infrastructure. That money flows through businesses on the outside: car washes, tattoo shops, bail bond companies. It gets cleaned and redistributed. You don't touch it directly, but your decisions inside affect how it moves outside. When you authorize an action inside, there are consequences on the street that follow within days. That weight is new. You feel it differently than anything before. Then your cellmate gets pulled for federal questioning on a Wednesday afternoon. He's gone for 6 hours. He comes back and says nothing happened. You move him to a different cell Thursday morning. You don't explain why. He doesn't ask. 3 weeks later, federal agents make 4 arrests connected to your outside network. Your cellmate gets transferred to protective custody the same day. You don't feel surprised. You feel something colder than that. You feel confirmed. From that point forward, you make one personal rule that overrides everything else: trust behavior. Never words, never history, never friendship. Only what a man does when everything is on the line. Interlude. Visiting hours. Your mother drives 6 hours to see you. She sits across the glass and she looks older than the last time. She asks if you're eating. She asks if you're safe. She says she's been going to church. She says she prays for you every morning. You tell her you're fine. You tell her the food is okay. You tell her not to worry. She asks what happened to you. Not in here, she means before. She means the person who walked into this place 3 years ago, and the person she's looking at now through scratched safety glass. You tell her you're the same. You both know that's not true. She cries quietly on the drive home, 6 hours back to Ohio, alone in a car. You walk back into the yard, and within 4 minutes, you're handling a dispute between two prospects over territory in the laundry room. The two parts of your life don't touch anymore. That used to bother you. Level 5. The Commission. Level 5. Commission Member. You are now one of fewer than 20 men who make decisions for the entire Aryan Brotherhood, inside every federal facility in the country and on the street. Income. Significant, untraceable, managed entirely through outside channels. Risk. RICO. Federal conspiracy. Murder for hire. The charges they're building carry life without parole. Multiple lives without parole. The AB Commission doesn't meet in a room. It can't. Its members are spread across ADX Florence, Pelican Bay, USP Victorville, and a dozen other facilities. Some of them have been in solitary confinement for over a decade. They communicate through a system called kites, coded written messages passed through chains of intermediaries, each carrier knowing only their single link. Your first commission communication arrives through 4 separate hands over 6 days. By the time it reaches you, each person who touched it knew only one piece. The message authorizes an action in a facility 300 miles away, involving a man you have never met over a debt that originated 2 years before you knew the commission existed. You pass it down your chain. 4 days later, the confirmation comes back the same way it went out. You also manage the AB's business relationship with the Mexican mafia, La M. This is the thing outsiders never understand about the Aryan Brotherhood. The gang that was founded in San Quentin in 1964 on white supremacist ideology now runs millions of dollars in annual business with Latino criminal organizations. The ideology became a recruitment tool, and then largely a brand. The actual operating principle replaced it decades ago. The principle is simple: money. Your contact for the La M relationship is a lawyer who visits you monthly on legitimate legal paperwork. Information moves both directions through that channel. The FBI knows about the lawyer knows the FBI knows. You know both of those things. Everyone operates anyway, because stopping would cost more than continuing. Level 6. Supermax. They come on a Tuesday morning. No warning. 6 federal agents, 2 U.S. Marshals. Your warden standing behind them looking at the floor. They read charges for 4 minutes straight. RICO conspiracy. 3 counts of murder for hire. Drug trafficking across 8 state lines. Ordering violence resulting in death on 5 separate occasions. You say nothing. You were transferred to ADX Florence, Colorado within 30 days. Administrative maximum facility. The end of the line. Your cell is 7 feet by 12 feet. Concrete floor. Steel door. 1 slot for meals. 1 window the size of a shoebox positioned so you can see a rectangle of sky and nothing else. 1 hour out of the cell per day. Alone. In a slightly larger concrete room with no other inmates. 23 hours a day in that cell. El Chapo is somewhere in this building. A dozen other men whose names you recognize from the outside world are somewhere in this building. You will never see any of them. The entire architecture of ADX is designed to make you disappear. Not from the world, but from your own organization. No communication, no influence, no reach. You have a lawyer who visits monthly. Federal investigators visit twice a year. Same questions every time. Same answer every time. You have been here for 3 years. The operation outside didn't pause for a single day after your arrest. You know this because you can feel it. The way you could always feel the machine running, even when you were far from its center. It's still running. It will still be running when you die in this room. Level 7. The cycle. The AB doesn't die with your arrest. Your shot caller steps up within 72 hours. He has watched how you operated for 5 years. He knows every relationship, every protocol, every active deal. The transition is invisible from the outside. On the street, affiliate networks receive one coded message: new contact, same terms. Operations continue. In Pelican Bay, a new fish arrives from rural Ohio. He walks into the yard on his first morning. The fog hasn't lifted yet. The yard smells like concrete and cold air. He sees the division, no signs, no markings, and walks toward the far wall. A man with a shaved head watches him for 2 seconds, looks away. That night, a note slides under his cell door. 3 words: breakfast, with us. He shows up. The clock starts again. You built nothing that will outlast you. You inherited a machine that existed before you were born and will exist long after your name means nothing to anyone still walking free. The only thing that changes is the face giving the orders. And there is always another face. Always.